Hello everybody and welcome to episode number 2 of Rookhtown, our new series here in City Skyline. If you're new to this video, make sure to check out episode number 1, which you'll find on the right top side, hopefully now as a little info button, so you can quickly jump over what the first episode and then come back into the second episode. Yeah, as always, I will have to remind you about this the next couple of weeks, I guess. I might sound very nosy at the moment, and I can't really do much about it because the pollen allergy is terrible this year, potentially the worst in 10 years or something, because, yeah, you know what, the world decided to have pretty much spring in midst of February already, which is super uncomfortable for those people who suffer from allergy, so as I do, and yeah, I'm super annoyed by the fact that I don't have winter, because I love winter. Like, it's not only because of the allergy, I just like winter. I just like the clear, ice-cold sky and the clear ice-cold air to breathe. It's something I really enjoy, and I can really get a lot of energy out of this. And you know, this like semi-warm temperatures, it's not really warm, but it's, you don't really know what to wear. You go outside, you know, don't know to wear a jacket or not, don't know if you know it's warm or not, or you're going to sweat or not. It's I don't know, it's not really what I really love. I love summer though, but you know, I know what I get. But spring is somewhat something I want to have in April, May. That's okay, but not in, please don't do this again in February. Anyways, I have to deal with it, as everybody has to in pretty much all over Europe. So I won't complain too much about it, but this is just a little bit of an intro. And here we are now building our first energy plant. So I think I have to put some things about this series in the correct light now. I figured in the last episode that maybe my description wasn't precise enough. Like, it should be a steampunk inspired town that is located somewhere in the early 20th century. The problem about this is we have to cover a wider time frame, simply because of the fact that the game, some things in the game simply don't allow us to go deeper into the 20s or even further back into history, just because of several things won't work. So yes, you guys did comment about the fact that there were not too many roads planted asphalt, they were basically bricks and stuff, so also cobblestone and all these kind of things. We don't usually have parking lots, I also get that, so I will tackle these things in the future by removing them with Prop It Up or stuff like that. Just at the moment there is not much of a chance to do it, because I am still figuring out which kind of assets work the best. So maybe we have to widen the overall theme and topic of this series. It's a very much steampunk and 20s inspired town that might be already in the 60s or 50s. I don't know, you know, I mean, it's just a little bit of justification, I guess, but it's really hard to get that look done exactly, you know, until just into each and every little detail. It's really hard to do that because it's just not available. But I like, you know, how it turns out, and you will see in this episode now a few things that come together nicely. Indeed, also looking a little bit at lighting to make sure that this all looks pretty nice and lit. As you can see, these parking lots over here definitely have to be covered up. I'll do this in the future, promise, pinky promise here, just not now, because I still need to figure what I do with these empty areas. But I'm going to do this early on in this series, so I'm not going to wait like until the 50th episode or whatsoever, because I will probably forget it anyways then. So I need to go into this sooner than later. But yeah, just to mention that I didn't forget that, and don't want to just go over it and just like pretend there is nothing wrong, because there is something wrong. But yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to get my hands on this energy plant over here, which should be very much like a very old industrial coal factory, even though I'm not entirely sure if they even need these cooling towers. I just thought they look nice, to be completely honest with you. I do know them obviously from like atomic energy and stuff like that, so like nuke towns or whatsoever, they do obviously have these pretty huge cooling towers. But I'm also sure that some of these coal factories do also have this kind of stuff. But anyways, as I said, it's a little bit of a puzzle here to get this all very well together and make sure that this all looks very steampunky, but at the same time not too modern. This is what we need to go into. It shouldn't look too modern. It really should give you an idea of the area, how it looked like before we are going into what is the Second World War, maybe, because the Second World War actually implemented a lot of modern things, like the first attempts were made to go into various other energy sources rather than just coal and steam and stuff like that. Anyways, I don't want to complain too much about the difficulties of this series. I rather want to focus on how amazing I found how much the game has changed over the last couple of months. Since I've been tackling the game last time. So like all these net structures we have in the game now that, you know, enable you to use a lot more fence structures and walls and stuff like that without looking too much at the prop limit is really awesome. And I have to say, this is something I wasn't experiencing last time, so it really is a big up in terms of quality of the game, in terms of yeah, you know, prop usage and all this kind of stuff in comparison to last time. So this is really something awesome. But in general, I just had the feeling that the game feels a lot more stable. I don't know if it's because I got more and more experience, but as you might remember, for those people who have been with me for the last Cities project, which unfortunately was cancelled due to the fact that, you know, I wasn't able to recover the save game. I had a lot of issues. I had so many issues, and you know, I don't want to promise too much, but at the moment it seems to be working just fine. I don't have any problems. I can just boot up the game, play the game, and you know, record the game, save the game, done. So there was no crash, no something. It was really good, and I have to say, the next couple of episodes, they will be all very awesome. Maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll be able to have at least for a few weeks 2 episodes a week, because I had a little go on Cities Skylines recently, and also I was reacting to your feedback that you found the time lapses too quick, so this episode is only sped up by 4.5 times. I hope this is okay. Please let me know in the comments below if this is a better speed to watch. This also enables me to make more episodes, to be completely honest with you, so I won't fit too much into one episode. I always want to try that at least one area is somewhat done, or at least you can get a better image of what this area will look like in the future. And I will also look more into cinematics next episode, so that you get a cinematic of the area at the end of this episode to really see what has been done. I really find that this is something I totally forgot in the first episode. I just gave you the screenshot and that's about it. I'll also put in a screenshot this time at the end of this episode, so you at least see how this area looks like, but there has to be something more nice in terms of cinematic. I totally think this is something you deserve, and I will pretty much look into. But now, let me just explain a little bit more what's going to happen in the next couple of episodes. So, the next episode, which yeah, I'm going to try to, maybe it a little bit depends on how much I can do this, but maybe it drops on Wednesday, or it drops next Saturday, but then the week after there will be an episode on Wednesday, because we are going into a little bit of farm working. So I'm tackling a lot of farms around this energy plantation here. So I'm really trying to somewhat combine this very rustic and very industrial looking energy plant with a very old countryside oriented area that really focuses on farm fields and, you know, this very old stuff, but paired with a lot of you know, steaming chimneys and stuff like that, so that it really gets a little bit more of the steampunk vibe, but still looks like actual farm fields. This is something I really want to look into, and yeah, this will happen in the next 2 episodes. After this, we are going back into the main area where the main railroad connection is located, and we're going to fix a little bit of things, put a few more buildings in, and after that, I'm really happy to announce that we are going to look into making a zoo. This will take 2 episodes. I am not finished right now, but I'm definitely needing your feedback on this, so I'm going to post a few screenshots of that in my Discord. So if you want to participate on that, make sure to go in the Discord. Link is in the description down below, as always, and check out the screenshots so you can actually take part in the discussion. It's in the City Skyline thread, as always, and you can just give your feedback to the zoo area. Yeah, and then after this, we need to go back into this industrial, or more like factory area over here, where we then definitely gonna look into making another railroad station that connects this area, obviously, to transport the goods everywhere else, or like maybe to get the coal somewhere, or actually from somewhere, I should say, because this is something we are going then to make, hopefully, in a live stream. I'm planning to do this in a live stream. We are building a gigantic coal mine, and this is something this was one of the reasons why I wanted to make this entire project, so to say. I really wanted to build that big of a coal mine. And for those of you who don't know, but in Germany there's at the moment a big discussion going on about charcoal, actually. And is it charcoal? It should be charcoal. Is it brown? Like, it's in German it's Braunkohle, but I think it's charcoal, right? Let me just quickly check so that I'm not going to tell you something wrong. I'm pretty sure it is. No, it's actually brown coal. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was charcoal. Anyways, brown coal, there is like a big brown coal mine in Germany, and by big I mean gigantic, and they even want to increase the area of influence, and this means they have to delete is the wrong word. They basically have to destroy some forests around the area, and these forests are necessarily not really the best idea to destroy. This is more like a prestige thing, but here's the reason. The energy that comes from further coal mining is not necessarily needed. Well, okay, it's a little bit more, you know, it's a little bit more complicated than this, but the fact that you would go even more into kind of old energy, like fossil-based energy, rather than going more into renewable energy, in the year 2018/19 is somewhat ridiculous, and this is why people are definitely not gonna want this coal mine or brown coal mine to be even more consuming the nature around it. And this is like a big discussion. At the moment the whole process is stopped because people have been protesting in the forest. You know, they put themselves into tree houses and made sure that you know, RWE, which is the company behind that, can't go in and just, you know, start chopping off the trees, and because people were still living in them, and this was the reason for them being stopped at the moment. And to be honest, to give you an opinion here, I'm not trying to be a politician or whatever. I'm fully against that. I think in the year 2018 there is absolutely, or 19 effectively, there is absolutely no reason to go into even more fossil energy. It's okay to keep them running at the moment to make sure that the energy costs are not exploding, and you know, that everything is made sure that there is enough of energy provided, but it's not needed. And people will, like, however or whoever you're gonna ask in terms of experts, they will definitely all confirm that the energy that is needed to be consumed in Germany can be produced out of renewable energy in the next couple of years. And the fact that they want to go into more fossil energy, at least in my eyes, is ridiculous. But this is one of the main reasons. I'm still like, and I can be this. I can look at things from two different sides. Obviously, yes, in the year 2019, I'm fully behind all the people that are against it. But a few years, or a few centuries back, I'm really interested into these mining culture and stuff like that. At the time back then, this was the state of the art. This was the real thing, right? This was what was the most promising, future-proof thing to have, like go into mining and stuff. And you always have to see that with the eyes of people living back then. And this is why I was so interested to make like this kind of old city, which really doesn't really care about pollution. And it's always easy to say people back then didn't think about pollution. Obviously they didn't, you know, I don't want to make them better than they were, but they couldn't think about this because in those people's eyes, this was state of the art. This was what needed to be done. It opened the window to an entire new world. For the first time ever, you had so much energy provided by these mining and factories and stuff like that, that you could build awesome things that you wouldn't be able to do before. And this is something I'm super interested in, to look more into historical things and, you know, find the reasons why people acted like they did in the past. And for me, this is in no contrast to what's happening today. Like today, you know, the whole situation has changed, and this is why obviously going into more brown coal mining in 2019 is ridiculous. It's not the state of the art, it's not necessary, and there is a reason for not doing it, and you know, this is why. But a few centuries back, as I said, there was a different opinion on things, and also the environment was different, so yeah, it was so. But this is it about this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, make sure to check out various other stuff I have uploaded, and also, if you haven't seen the first episode, make sure to watch this one. But yeah, that should be it from my side. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great Saturday, and see you next time. Have a good day, and bye bye.